They lied to you. For decades, doctors, health organizations, and the food industry have pushed one of the biggest medical lies of the century, that cholesterol in your food is dangerous, that eating eggs or butter will clog your arteries, and that if you're over 50, you must live in fear of every bite of fat. But here's the shocking truth. They were wrong. And worse, they knew it. Today, I'm going to reveal what really happens inside your body when you eat cholesterol, why millions of people over 50 are still being misled, and the life-saving truth that Big Pharma does not want you to hear. Because let me ask you, if cholesterol was so deadly, why do so many people who eat eggs daily live into their 90s without heart disease? Why is it that cultures consuming natural fats for centuries had lower heart attack rates than modern America drowning in low-fat products? Something doesn't add up, and it's time you hear the truth. Let's rewind to the 1950s. A scientist named Ancel Keys pushed a theory called the diet heart hypothesis. He cherry-picked data to make it look like eating fat and cholesterol caused heart disease. Newspapers ran with it, governments adopted it, and suddenly, the egg yolk became the villain of every American kitchen. By the 1980s, if you were over 50, you probably remember the shelves being filled with low-fat, cholesterol-free products. Margarine replaced butter. Egg whites replaced whole eggs. And yet, despite this health revolution, heart disease skyrocketed. Diabetes exploded. Obesity became an epidemic. If cholesterol was the enemy, why did things get worse when we tried to cut it out? Here's the part they never explained. The cholesterol in your food is not the same as the cholesterol floating in your blood. Your body is far more intelligent than the fearmongers give it credit for. When you eat cholesterol, your liver simply makes less of it. When you eat less, your liver makes more. It's a balancing act, not a ticking time bomb. In fact, cholesterol is not a poison. It's a life-sustaining molecule. Every cell in your body needs cholesterol to build its walls. Your brain, yes. The very thing keeping your memory alive is made up of nearly 25% cholesterol. Your hormones, testosterone, estrogen, vitamin D, built from cholesterol. Without it, you'd lose your energy, your mood, even your ability to think clearly. So ask yourself, why would nature design a substance so essential only for doctors to tell you it's killing you? The answer is, it wasn't nature. It was marketing. When fear of cholesterol reached its peak, pharmaceutical companies stepped in with a miracle solution: statin drugs. These pills promised to lower your cholesterol numbers and save your heart. But here's the ugly truths. Statins became one of the most profitable drugs in history, generating billions every single year. Do you really think they wanted the truth about cholesterol to come out? Do you think they wanted people over 50 to know that eating 2 eggs for breakfast wouldn't kill them, but might actually protect their brain and bones? Of course not. Fear is profitable. Keeping you sick and dependent is profitable. That's why the lie was never corrected. That's why even today, many doctors still parrot outdated advice. Avoid cholesterol, eat low fat. But here's the shocking twist. Recent research, even from mainstream organizations, has quietly admitted the truth. In 2015, the U.S. government's dietary guidelines finally dropped cholesterol from its list of nutrients of concern. But how many of you heard about that? Almost no one. Why? Because correcting the lie would expose decades of manipulation. So if cholesterol isn't the culprit, what is? The real danger to your heart isn't cholesterol, it's inflammation. Imagine your arteries like smooth pipes. Inflammation is like sandpaper scraping the inside walls, creating tiny wounds. Your body, being the genius it is, sends cholesterol to patch up the damage. Cholesterol becomes the firefighter, not the arsonist. But what causes the inflammation in the first place? Here's where the story gets even darker. The very heart-healthy foods they pushed on you: processed seed oils. Margarine, sugary cereals, and low-fat snacks are the ones lighting the fire. These industrial seed oils, like soybean canola and corn oil, are unstable. They oxidize, create free radicals, and damage your arteries from within. And then, when cholesterol rushes in to repair the damage, guess who gets blamed? Cholesterol. It's like blaming the firefighters for the fire instead of the arsonist who lit the match. If you're in your 50s, 60s, or beyond, you've probably been told repeatedly to fear cholesterol. Maybe you've cut out eggs, skipped the steak, switched to margarine, followed the low-fat craze. But ask yourself, are you healthier? Or are you more tired, more medicated, and more confused than ever before? The truth is, as you age, your need for cholesterol actually increases. Your brain depends on it to prevent memory loss and dementia. Your bones need it to convert vitamin D. Your hormones already declining with age rely on cholesterol to stay balanced. By starving your body of this essential nutrient, you may have unknowingly accelerated aging. And here's the most shocking part. Seniors with higher cholesterol often live longer than those with low cholesterol. That's right, low cholesterol in the elderly is linked to a higher risk of death, not a lower one. But do you ever hear that from your doctor? No, because it doesn't sell pills. Let's talk about statins for a moment. These drugs are handed out like candy to anyone over 50 with high cholesterol. But what's rarely mentioned are the side effects: muscle pain, memory loss, fatigue, increased risk of diabetes. Think about that. Drugs meant to protect your heart can actually trigger the very disease, diabetes, that damages it. And yet Big Pharma continues to rake in profits while seniors suffer in silence, thinking they're doing the right thing. The truth: lowering your cholesterol artificially does not guarantee protection from heart disease. In fact, many heart attack victims had normal cholesterol levels. So if cholesterol isn't the enemy, why are you still being told to fear it? Here's what you need to know. Real, whole foods eggs, butter, meat, fish do not destroy your health. They nourish it. What destroys your health are the fake, industrialized products that replace them. When you eat whole eggs, your body gets vital choline for your brain. When you eat healthy animal fats, your body absorbs fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, K. These nutrients protect your heart, not destroy it. The secret is not to fear cholesterol, but to fear inflammation. Cut out the refined carbs, the sugar, the seed oils. Go back to the foods your grandparents ate, the foods nature designed, not factories. And here's the part that feels almost like a conspiracy thriller. Some scientists, some doctors, even some government reports have already admitted the truth. The cholesterol myth has been quietly dismantled in academic circles. But why isn't it headline news? Why aren't doctors telling every patient over 50 that cholesterol isn't the villain? Because changing the narrative would collapse one of the most profitable empires in medical history. The cholesterol myth is not just a mistake, it's a business model. So what can you do right now? First, question the advice you've been given. Don't accept every prescription as gospel. Ask your doctor, if cholesterol is so dangerous, why did the government remove it as a nutrient of concern? If statins are so safe, why are their side effects destroying people's quality of life? Second, reclaim your plate. Bring back the foods that humans thrived on for centuries: real eggs, real butter, real meat. Focus on cutting the real enemies: sugar, processed foods, seed oils. Third, stay informed. Share this message with friends and family, especially those over 50, still living in fear of an egg yolk. Don't let them suffer another decade under a lie. Because here's the shocking truth: your body was never broken. It was never designed to fear cholesterol. It was designed to thrive on it. The lie was never about health, it was about control. I know this may feel overwhelming. Maybe you're angry right now, realizing you've been misled for years. Maybe you're relieved, knowing that your favorite breakfast food isn't slowly killing you. Or maybe you're skeptical, because you've trusted the experts for so long. But deep down, you know the truth makes sense. You know your body was designed for real food, not lab experiments. You know that nature doesn't make mistakes. Industries do. So the next time you crack open an egg, don't feel guilt. Feel empowered. Because you're reclaiming not just your breakfast, but your health, your freedom, your future. And that, my friend, is the truth about dietary cholesterol. A truth they never wanted you to know.